Welcome to the WEInvested podcast, where we teach you how to save and make more cash. I'm your host, Wesley Earp, and this is season 3, episode 20. And on this episode, we sit down with Esthetician Eboni Hunter, the founder and CEO of Exquisitely Minked. I hope you enjoy this episode. Let's do it. So today on the WEInvested podcast, we have with us Eboni Hunter, and she is an esthetician and lash educator, and she is the founder and CEO of Exquisitely Minked. Eboni, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. So I just been following your story on Instagram and just seeing you very active and really taking the time to perfect your craft and what you do. So just to kind of start the interview off, can you let us know what is Exquisitely Minked and what services do you offer?
Okay. So Exquisitely Minked it's everything, honestly, because being an esthetician is in general, but it started out as just a lash company. So now Exquisitely Minked Aesthetics. So meaning I specialize in anything in beauty, lashes, waxing, facials, you name it, anything dealing with beauty except for eyebrows. I really don't mess with those. Mainly a lash specialist, and I specialize in facials and waxing.
Okay. So it sounds like you kind of do it all, not just one thing, right?
Nope. I'm in all fields.
For sure. So, okay, my fault. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. My fault.
Fact. So, how did you get started as an esthetician?
So actually, me being an esthetician didn't start first. What I started was I worked so many different jobs, honestly, and I realized that those jobs weren't for me. I came to my last and final job in 2016, working for a call center, and I started trying to sell hair. That didn't work out. I really actually tried a whole bunch of different things, but one day I got into makeup and I was like, well, let me try selling lashes, because it wasn't really as popular back then when I started, but I was like, let me try selling lashes. And I was doing it at work, and I was doing it while I was on the phone talking to people in between break times, and it was something that I started to actually enjoy. So after selling them at work, I ended up doing it on the weekends at home, like doing makeup, putting lashes on for girls before they go to the club. And so then that led to eyelash extensions. And that started getting popular, and I started, seeing girls get them. So I was like, well, let me try them out. So I went to try them out. And, I was realizing the money that I paid for it. Because at first, that's what it was about for me, because I was so unhappy what I was doing. I was like, well, shoot. I was like, this is a nice little grip. And I asked the girl, I was like, you make pretty good money doing this. And she was like, yeah. So when she said that she did, she said she hadn't taught a class before. So I asked her, I was like, well, let me know when your next class is going to be. I did, I took her class, and it was with 10 girls. And I ended up, I didn't really do too much with it because I was so focused on working a full-time job that I didn't really, once I got out of work, I didn't practice with it or do anything with it. So it started, basically from me doing strips, 3D mink strips, to the lash extensions, and then eventually I just practicing with it, and I ended up quitting my job. So I worked out of my house for a year, not even a year. It was maybe 4 months. I worked out of my house, and then my mom was like, okay, well, if you're gonna work in a salon, she was like, you have to. She was telling me that she was like, you have to go to school. I didn't want to be. My mom is a cosmetologist, and that's something that I did not want to do. Was hair. Everybody's like, they assume just because my mama did hair, I was gonna do hair. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So it just kind of, I ended up going to school after that, basically. And that's really how the esthetician came about. I had to get a license in order to work with the public.
For sure. So when you quit your job, like in the beginning, were you nervous? Was it scary? Or were you just like, I already saw that I could make some money off of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it?
Well, see, that's the thing. I didn't really think about it. I was just, one day I was like stressed out just at work, and I was like, this is just too much. Like I'm trying to work, live, do all of this other stuff. And I was just like, I'm not happy doing this. And it's like when you're dealing with outside problems and then you got to come to a job every day that you hate, it was just kind of like, well, I done invested money in myself. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Just take that chance. So, it wasn't just me. I talked to my boyfriend about it. He was like, go for it. And, that's where it's been. And I haven't looked back at my job since. So it was a little hard, honestly, because, hold on, let me say that again. It wasn't as hard because remember, I was telling you beforehand, I was doing, strips and makeup. So I kind of had my name out there already for that, with eyelashes. But venturing out, doing something else aside from it, because strips and doing makeup wasn't going to bring in money like eyelash extensions was. So that part was a little bit harder because I actually had to perfect my craft in order to get clientele coming in. More clientele anyways.
So what did it take to perfect your craft?
Staying actually practicing, because I got certified in March of 2017. I quit my job in December of 2017. So it took me like 6 months to even get it. And so I went from actually practicing on my mannequin like I was supposed to. Then one of my homegirls, she was like, she'd be one of my guinea pigs for me to practice on because she had nice lashes. So it was easy for me to practice on her. And, we was going back and forth at it ever since. And it's like I just kept doing it. Then once people saw that, I would get a few more people coming in, and it just kind of built up. My clientele built up. And like I said, practicing, staying consistent, just keep trying to go with it, knowing what I want, the end goal, like, okay, I got to really eat off of this. Like, this is how I'm going to eat. So.
Exactly. So, yeah, I was just checking out your social media, and I saw that you just recently graduated. So could you explain like what that program was like and how that experience was, like going to school for your craft to better understand it and better serve the people?
Going to school was definitely an experience because after I graduated in 2012, I didn't even think I was going to go back to school. So actually going back for something that, I was really interested in was amazing. And I actually had to pay for that out of pocket. It wasn't no help for, none of that. I couldn't get any, fast food or anything like this. So I had to pay for that out of pocket. So it was exhilarating because, I would be doing like, I was splitting this, like doing work every day. When I go to school, I'm leaving school, doing lashes, like, it was tough. School was cool. I met some great girls, girls that I will remember for a lifetime that are actually out here doing it. And it was, I had people like motivating me. School was cool. Do I wish I could have did another program? Yes. In another place, but I wanted to be more in depth. But all in all, going to school was definitely necessary because, like I said, I was initially just going to school just to get a license. But I ended up learning, like, I don't have to be stuck to just doing eyelashes. I can actually make more money doing other things. Like, it's more avenues.
Exactly. And so I know you kind of talked about this earlier, but like, so once you finish, or going back before the program, because you started before you went back to school for it. So like, how was it building up your clientele? Like, was it a difficult process? Was it a long process, or did it kind of happen immediately?
So it was kind of like a snowball. Like, eventually I started getting, more people, like, as I'm posting, because, you have to kind of post to show your work. People started seeing like, okay, she getting better, so they start seeing like, oh, I want to hop on the train, get them done. And word of mouth is really all it takes for me. That's my best advertisement. So People were starting to come, and then it was like, okay, I can't do all these people out my house. Now it's time to expand and go, get out and start doing them somewhere else. So, being that I was in a salon, my mom's salon and that, it wasn't hard because it was more exposure than just being in the house as well.
For sure. And so you kind of hit on it earlier, like you started just posting things on social media, and like that's really how I caught on and saw what was going on. So do you think that social media like impacted the growth of your business too?
Definitely, it definitely impacted. But if I'm being honest, like I don't feel like I get a few people off of Instagram. So when I get people off Instagram, it's kind of like wow, because I know a lot more people locally. And that's honestly how some people will search me up. I do try to, stay a little active up there. But I think honestly, word of mouth was like my best best ways to help me gain my clientele. But it's time when I did learn, like, okay, social media is very, very important. No matter how much I want to kind of like stray away from it, when it comes to business, it's important because this is how like our generation now is finding what they're needing. They're going to social media, they're hashtagging, they're tagging you, and it's more exposure. You got people who sharing your posts, so social media definitely does help. And I honestly think it would help out more if I was, just a little bit more active up there. But, when I'm actually getting business and people are still telling people about me, my book's still getting filled without me even posting like that, it's just a whole different type of thing how I feel about social media sometimes.
Facts. So it's like you kind of eating with or without it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So making that transition from working a 9 to 5 to like being an entrepreneur, was it difficult to like manage your time or to figure out like, okay, what times work best for me to be productive, or did it kind of fall right into place for you?
No, it don't. I don't think it did not fall right into place because you have to think about it. Some of those days are slow. So it's like, versus when you work in a job like you got to get up and go to, when it's days that you're not working, it's like, to me, it seemed like it was a little harder because, I had to discipline myself. So I was my own, I'm my own boss. So, when you had never been your own boss before, you don't know how to really kind of handle it. That was a whole new thing for me. But eventually I got the hang of it. I just set certain times, just as if I was working a regular job. I would set certain times to get booked in between it. In between when I'm not, working, I also, just looked at YouTube videos, followed people who were doing things that I do, seeing how they stay productive. I always feeding myself, like, just information, things that can help me be better, especially in business.
For sure. So when you first got started, like when you first had your job and you were kind of looking for a way out, you were selling different things and trying different things. So how did you know you had the right business idea when you found out about doing lashes?
I was happy. It was something I enjoyed doing. Like, I want no more searching. I mean, I literally didn't try. I had tried credit repair. I had tried selling hair. Like, none of that stuff was fulfilling to me. But like, when I really seen like what lashes could do, and knowing that I was the one who was doing it for people, seeing how it made them feel, that was gratifying. That was a paycheck for me in itself too, aside from just getting money from it.
Most definitely.
So, yeah, I definitely felt like this how I knew. And like, I mean, it's 3 years now, and I'm still going with it. So, I definitely knew like, okay, this is it. Because I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. Because like I said, people was like, oh, you going to do hair? No. But it's ironic that I'm in the beauty field. So, nonetheless, you will know when you find something that you actually enjoy doing. Waking up every morning is not even going to be a problem.
Exactly. So earlier you were talking about like how your mom was supporting you and how your boyfriend was supporting you and how you met people in your class that you were taking in the program that you were in. So like, what's the importance of having a good team and having a good support system around you?
It's definitely important to have a good support system around you, because you have to. Some days it really get hard. You want to not you want to give up sometimes, because running a business is not easy. Doing something you never done before is just not. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it can be a cakewalk, but unfortunately, sometimes it's really, just being real and being a business owner, it's just not always easy. It's trials, tribulations, stuff you got to learn from. So having a good support system, somebody to keep pushing you, people who actually believe in you, want to see you do good, you do need that, definitely. But it's important to understand too that you can't always, be looking for gratification from family, boyfriend, friends, none of that, because sometimes people ain't gonna always see the vision, and if you don't really actually believe in yourself, you won't keep going either. You gotta really believe in yourself more than the other people around you, because when you start believing in yourself, that's when people gonna keep pushing you, like, dang, they serious about this, they're gonna keep going. So it's good to have a good team around you, but it's good to also try and be strong-willed and just kind of keep believing in yourself, because once you believe in yourself, other people are gonna believe in you and keep you going and keep pushing you.
Exactly. So when you first got started, and even now, because like you said, running a business and being a business owner is not easy, like really no matter what. So what are some like business mistakes that you made early on that you learned from, or that you would tell somebody else about so they could avoid those same mistakes?
Mistakes. Let me see. I really gotta really sit down and I'm really trying to see any mistakes that I made. First of all, I can't think of some. When I first started my lash business, I was just eager to start it, and I'm thinking of cute stuff. I did not check my name, the first name that I ever had for my business. I didn't went and got it plastered on stuff and everything. I had to go change my whole business name. So definitely do a search for your name in your state, seeing if your name is even available, because it can be in another. Somebody can still have the same name as you in another state, but they can't have that same name as you in your state. So that was a big mistake. But
what was the first name, if you remember?
I want to say it was Mink Me Pretty. Mink Me. Hold on, I can't even think of it. Oh my gosh. Meet Me Pretty Company or something like that. It was something like that, to that extent.
Okay, but the first name don't even matter no more. You got Exquisitely Minked now.
No, and the crazy thing is, I done thought about changing my name, and I was like, you know what, I can't even change it now because people recognize me by that.
Facts. Yeah, man, a lot of people get caught up by not checking the names and copyright, trademark, all of that.
Yeah, it's deep. You need to kind of look that up when you first start.
Facts. So, what's your favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
My favorite part about being an entrepreneur is, first of all, I'm the one writing the checks at this point. Basically, I literally get up and decide everything that I want to do. I decide what times I want to work, when I want to work, if I want to work. Just being able to have more time, not feeling drained from working a job that I hate. It's just so many perks of really being your own boss. I really love being an entrepreneur, and I love actually knowing that I started it. You know what I'm saying? I actually put it together. So
Exactly.
That's just a few things that I love about being my own boss.
Exactly. So what would you say is the single most important reason for your success?
Being consistent. I feel like that's my my most important reason for my success, because so many times I really could have gave up or not kept going. And keeping going is what keep the business going. So I feel like that's my most, it just actually living what I do and trying to stay up to what's going on in my industry.
For sure. So how do you define success as an entrepreneur?
How do I define success?
Yeah.
When you marking your goals that you have set out for yourself and for your business, that's defining the success. Like not what nobody else thinks success is for you. Like what you feel like once you accomplish something, that's being successful. You know what I'm saying? No matter how big or small the goal is. That's what success is to me. Like, and when you whatever you start your business for, and you start reaching those goals that you know the reason why you started it. That's where the success come into play.
For sure. So how would you like for people to remember you and your company?
I would love for people to remember me and my company by just being positive, not only just building people up with you know, cosmetics and different things like that, but actually just living their self and just being positive. That's my main thing for people to just like really kind of remember. Happy vibes. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, so what does the future of Exquisitely Minked look like?
The future of Exquisitely Minked is definitely going to expand. I'm definitely trying to go bigger than what I definitely have done, because I know I can kind of do more. So I eventually just want to like mainly like teach classes, make more bosses, have like my own lash line, like an actual like lash extension line. And clarify that. And just, you know, just keep making money. That's really it. Like I don't really have like no top big things. Like this is basically what I want to do, because I'm basically happy with what I'm doing now. So anything that I can do to like expand, like making more money, like residual income, and just, you know, making more bosses out here, that's definitely what Exquisitely Minked is definitely gonna be looking forward to in the future.
And that's something I want to talk about really quick too, because that's really how I found out about what was going on. Like you were teaching people, you were like making people lash tech certified, and that's when I first heard about it. And it's like you personally taught so many people. So what was that experience like? Like how did you even get started teaching?
Well, especially when I remember I was telling you when I first started, like I started out with like 10 people in my class. So I didn't really have that like one-on-one type thing. So I always say, you know, when I really get the hang of it, because for one, that's the fastest way you can make your money as a lash tech, to me, because, you know, you can do people. It's all about how many people you can service a day. But teaching somebody, you know, you getting it, you really get more money basically in a shorter amount of time. So, and it was also just about actually making sure girls were really getting the hang of it, because, you know, for some people it's really hard to actually get a grasp of it. So it was just something that I really wanted to do, like really put people on, because now you live in kind of in a time where girls are not like as they're not willing to like kind of like share information. You know what I mean? So that was something that I definitely was interested in, and, you know, help girls like really jump on the wave of being their own boss. And actually teaching people that was good for me too, because like I said, it taught me stuff about myself as well, and like how to like better teach people, you know. So
exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought was really cool though, just to see you like teaching different people and like really helping the city get more money. But which do you like better if you had to choose? Do you like teaching or actually doing it on clients yourself?
I honestly can't choose, because I like teaching. Teaching can be challenging because every person is different. Every person learns different. And, you know, some people just can't catch on like others. And it's just nothing personal. It just depends. You know, you can't do nothing but instill in them and teach them, like, you know, this is what you need to do. And they, you know, if they believe in their stuff enough, they definitely can accomplish it. But actually doing it for people too, It's just different because, like I said, it's a confidence builder. Like seeing when people get up and they're finished. Like once I did, like done my work and everything, they're like, "Oh my God, I love them," and they're just as pretty as they thought they would be. That's like I said, that's just really still to this day. It's so gratifying to me. Like, and I do that. Like I sit down and take my time and do that. So nothing really kind of compared to that because it's like you have to sit back and be like, wow, like I'm really, skilled enough to really give people looks that really made them feel good about it.
Exactly.
So I like both of them, honestly.
So is teaching something that you want to keep doing like in the future? Are you going to keep that a part of your business, or are you going to focus more on the services? Like which way are you going with it?
Honestly, I'm going more with teaching because like I'm coming close. Not saying that I should have to either way, but if I could really just teach people and like make my money more that way, I would love to do that because like I said, you just can like run a bag up real fast. It's not really about that part, but you know what I'm saying? It's just more of like what you can do to make you the most money in a shorter amount of time. So services are fun. I definitely plan on there for a little while, but eventually I definitely want to just branch out to, just teaching people. I have also thought about teaching aesthetics because a lot of people that teach the classes are not actual estheticians, they're cosmetologists, and it's like they're just reading out of a book, so you don't really a more meaningful, it doesn't really get as meaningful as it should. Like my last teacher, she didn't really care about her students like this. Like she was just basically doing it to get a check.
Okay.
So that kind of sucked because it's like, when you go to school, you have a teacher that's like a second mom or somebody who really care and want to see you like succeed and do stuff like that. And that's what I like to really give people, you know what I'm saying? Like give people that push, like you can do whatever the case be. So I actually have done the stuff. So definitely actually being a teacher, like an instructor, an aesthetics instructor, and teaching classes and stuff like that. That's definitely where I'm going. And also being that my mom, her business is called Eboni Essence. So she named her business after me. I don't actually I plan on working, but I would rather have like girls in there like a lash salon, girls who are doing facials and stuff like that, like actually working under me. So that's like kind of like a goal for it, like with me keep going with the teaching because it's like I know like what they actually learn has came from me, and like it'll basically be just like little mini like bosses all in one. Basically, that's where I'm really looking forward to like go with it. People, mini estheticians, and just taking it to the next level with them with it.
Exactly. So like, how can people sign up for your class or get involved?
So right now I'm working on finishing up my website, but if they go to my business page, you can either find me on Facebook, which is where I'm mainly more active at, but you can find me on Facebook at Eboni Hunter, which is Eboni Hunter, or you can find me on Instagram at Exquisitely Minked Aesthetics, and just send me a simple DM, where it's on my website as well too. But if you have questions, some people like to have questions, so I just they can ask. My DM is always welcome, where they can just send me questions. And I have a link as well where you can sign up for a class too. So it shows you exactly what you're getting, what you'll learn, and it'll they can, once they sign up on the website, it'll come to me. But preferably if they message me first, just so they can get all their questions out beforehand, because a lot of people don't really like to like sign up for stuff they don't really understand what's going on.
Exactly. Man, that's dope. Thank you so much for your time. But look, before we end every podcast, we like play a rapid fire question game, like 3 questions at the end of the podcast. If you're willing to play.
Okay, sure.
All right, first question is, where's your favorite place to travel?
My favorite place to travel is Atlanta. I don't know why, but I love Atlanta. Like, it's a people's town. It's for the folks. I love Atlanta.
Fast. So, what song explains your life the most?
Go Pale. I think that's how you say her name. Closer. It's called Closer, and it's closer to my dreams. Like, I just love that song. It inspires me, like, keep going. This what I just feel like every year, every day, I'm moving towards my dreams.
Okay. And last question. What's an amazing thing that you did that no one was around to see?
I went and paid on somebody bill. How about it? And they don't know anything about it.
Oh, that's lit.
So, yeah. So I feel like, you know, that was something that nobody was around to see. They ain't had to see it either. It was just something I felt like doing. That was amazing.
Exactly, like a real boss. But yeah, man, Eboni Hunter, thank you so much for stopping by and talking with us and teaching us more about what you do. We'll definitely be on the lookout. And yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.